Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me on today's webinar. My name is Jamie Royston Smith, and I'm the Head of Sales here at TaxCalc. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the new features and products coming today in our October 2019 release. We've got a few news and updates to introduce you to, and so most of the content today will be introducing you to new products and services as part of the TaxCalc suite, and most of the content will be in the context of a demonstration, so you'll actually get to see the products in the webinar today. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping whilst we're waiting for attendees to join. Approximate runtime for today is no more than 40 minutes. So 40 minutes, the approximate runtime for the webinar. We won't have any facility for question and answers on today's webinar, just to keep things fairly short. But if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to direct them to our sales mailbox at TaxCalc. That is sales@taxcalc.com. The details will be on screen at the end. We have a couple of polls that we would like to throw at you today. So if you've got a moment, we would just recommend or implore that you respond to those polls. And it's just a nice way of making the webinar a little bit interactive and get some useful feedback on some of your perspectives on practice management. If for any reason you need to leave, we understand we're all busy people, that's not a problem. You will be automatically sent a follow-up with a recording of today's webinar. That should be sent to you this afternoon. So if you can't stay for the whole thing, that's not a problem. But we hope that you can and will enjoy the content this morning. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and kick off our first poll today. So the poll for the audience is, what is the key function of practice management? So in your view, in your perspective, what is the key function of practice management? The poll is launching to you now. We'd appreciate your answers. So is it client record management? Is that the main feature? Is it job tracking and deadline management? Is it the storage and sharing of client documents? Is it client communications? Or does it encompass everything? So if the answer for you is all of the above, please take that answer. We'd appreciate your answers. I'll hold the poll open just for a few more seconds before I share the answers to screen. And I think we're about stabilizing there, so just a few more seconds. Fantastic. I'll close the poll there and I'll share the results to screen. So thank you for your participation, everyone. So yes, some interesting answers there. So clearly a lot of you are looking for a bit of everything. So all of the above there being the most common answer. I think that's indicative of practices, obviously just wanting everything in one place. That's absolutely understandable. And job tracking and deadline management, which to me definitely is kind of the main focus. But of course, really it is nice to have a bit of everything in there these days. Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to showing you the new products that now complete the suite within the TaxCalc ecosystem. So here are the three new products which are launching and which we'll cover today. And so yeah, it's my pleasure to introduce you to them. So the first one is Practice Manager Plus, which effectively, as the tagline shows, is automated job workflow. Now, of course, many of you who are existing TaxCalc customers will know that we've supplied something called the Client Hub, free and included with all TaxCalc products. And that's been a fantastic product at just keeping track of key tasks and just having central database of all of your client information. However, we know that the plan all along has been to effectively offer something that's much more sophisticated for those firms that want something that tracks the key stages and job instances. So that's what we're releasing as part of this new update today. So we're not just leaving smaller firms in the lurch. We're still going to offer the free practice management tools that come with any purchase of our tax and accounts products. But really for those firms who want to take it a step further, automate and proceduralize the workflow, then this is the kind of product that will suit you. Secondly, we've got TaxCalc Time. So if you wanted to keep track of time spent in your practice, get your staff to complete timesheets, and the ability to then report on that time that is then logged, then this product is for you. So the time module will, as I say, allow you to kind of create timesheets within your practice, which then create a flow of audit information of how time is spent on each client, on each job, and help you identify areas where you're perhaps under profitable or perhaps overspending time on the job. Lastly, Document Manager. We're really pleased to be launching a partnership with a key document management player called SmartVault, and so we'll be introducing their product as part of the suite, because again, we've had feedback from our customers saying, how do we store documents long term? How do we interact and collaborate and share documents with our clients? And we'll show you that as part of the webinar today. So what are we trying to achieve here? Well, of course, TaxCalc for a number of years has provided compliance services. We've been known for our tax, our accounts production and other services. More latterly, practice compliance products like AML and company secretarial. But we realized that to really serve practices well and to really serve the modern day accountancy practice, you need integrated tools that really define the flow of work in your practice and allow you to control all jobs and tasks within that practice. So we're really hoping to complete the suite, fill the gaps, and produce these new products that will then effectively keep everything in one place. This is very much a statement of intent for us. So obviously these new products are a massive improvement and leap forward for us. But of course, it's worth noting that there are, best of breed products out there that do this job. So this is just the beginning for us, and we will develop and enhance these products as we go. These are the core areas you can see on screen. These are the main areas of statement of intent for us to develop and grow the suite in future. Fantastic. Well, let's introduce you to Practice Manager Plus, and then we'll get into the meat of the demo. So like I said earlier, really this product is a step up from the tool set that's already within the TaxCalc suite. And really the main functions, as you can see there, the main one is to define the workflow in your practice. So we do ship the software with some job templates, but the main function really is allowing you as the firm to really proceduralize the steps of each job in your practice so that you can control the flow of work. Now, we realize that a lot of these tasks are almost like a conveyor belt process. And so if you've ever struggled to kind of really define that process within your firm, then I think these tools will give you the flexibility to really set that up from the outset and then just simply apply those workflows to each client. Now, one of the key benefits of using something like TaxCalc for this kind of management is the fact that it's linked to the work that you're completing. So of course, it's going to be completely integrated into your TaxCalc database. And one thing that does give you is visibility over your statutory deadlines. We recognize when those are coming up and when those are becoming due. And so what we do is have a massive focus on those statutory deadlines and the work associated with them. Of course, because our database is integrated with Companies House information, that does allow you to automatically set up the deadlines for your clients, and then the workflows will trigger and highlight and remind you of those deadlines coming up. Again, like I say, integrates with the core work like tax and accounts, and there's some nice features in here which will actually update the task progress as you complete actions within the software. So certain events within the software will trigger certain workflows or certain updates to those jobs within the workflow. So let's introduce you to Practice Manager Plus. I'm just going to jump out of the presentation and launch you into our copy of TaxCalc. So hopefully you're with me. Great, so what we're going to do is show you the key differences between the complementary tool set and what comes within Practice Manager Plus. Okay, so this is TaxCalc. I'm in the dashboard view. If you haven't yet seen the two different views before, I would recommend that you have a look. So we've got the launcher view, which you may be more familiar with, and you've got dashboard in the bottom right hand corner. That's already in, that's been in the software for some time. Now we've supplied the facility to create a dashboard as well and add widgets to that, but now with Practice Manager Plus, what you can do is create multiple dashboards. So this can be really useful if you've got multiple teams within your business. Let's say if you've got a tax team or an accounts team, you may want different dashboards to identify key metrics at any one time. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you my My own dashboard, that's got some key task information of tasks that are associated to me. So that's kind of my to-do list. And then I've also maybe got an accounts dashboard that will show us key actions specifically relating to sets of accounts. And if I'm a practice manager, maybe I want to see things like the client engagement status. So we've got a nice graph here of the number of active clients, etc. With Practice Manager, the standard tool set, you get one dashboard. With Practice Manager Plus, you can set up multiple ones. So going back to my own dashboard, you can see the key jobs or tasks assigned to me. And we've got a quick link here to work management. This was previously called task management, but this gives us the key jobs and tasks associated to me or to the filters that I create here. So it's a really nice view, allowing you to see exactly what's coming up. If I just change some of the filters here, I can see what's coming up across the whole practice. Now, previously we had the ability to create tasks, but we realized that creating a set of accounts or a tax return is not just one step or stage. Of course, it's a series of different stages that complete that work. So what we have now is the ability to define different job stages, and within each job, you have the facility to see exactly where you're up to for each one. So opening this accounts job, I can see that my current stage is review accounts, and that's due quite soon. Now, if I wanted to see the previous tasks that were done within that, then I just need to tick the button in the bottom corner there, and that shows me the ones that are already completed. So it shows you quickly at which stage you're at for each job. And really, it's for you as the practice to define what these workflows are. So we do ship the software with some templates, but we really implore you to spend a bit of time being a bit thoughtful, being a bit intentional about how you want the flow of work to complete within the software, within your practice, and spend a bit of time investing, setting all these job templates up to make sure that they're just right for you and the way that you work. Just a couple of other things to highlight. You've got the statutory deadlines pulling in here. You can sort by that. So they will show you the key job deadlines that are coming up. I haven't needed to set this up. This is all based on information in the software. And you can see that different job stages are automatically assigned to different people in the practice based on the workflow that we create. So the question is now, how do I set up these templates and how do I trigger them for clients? Well, let me show you how to do just that. So what I'm going to do is open the application settings. That's accessible from the help menu in the top left. You can also access this from the admin center link on the home page. Great, so it takes us into the application screen and we're going to customize the practice manager. So I double click there and we've got lots of options to tailor down the left. There's a few new options that I won't go into today, so I do recommend you have a look through the new settings options. The one we're concerned with here is job templates, and you can see the templates that we ship with the software. They're the locked ones here. Now I've created a couple of my own and I'll show you what we're doing here. So if you're creating your own template, this is the process that you go through. So it's a simple wizard to set this up and then these workflows can be applied to each client. Now this is an annual accounts job specifically for a limited company. You can put some description in there. I've also assigned it to me because I'm the accounts manager in the practice. So I'm the person that's in charge of all the accountants preparing work in the accounts team. We're going to associate it with clients and work. I would recommend you tick both of those stages. And then dates. This is where you would set up the dates for the job overall. So not the individual task stages, but the overall job or statutory deadline for that particular piece of work. You've got different options here. You can create your own job due date, but I'd really recommend that you set the deadline to be the statutory deadline, which as I say, automatically comes in. What you then want to do, or what you then may want to do, is create an ideal deadline for your practice, because you probably don't want to be completing these on the day of the deadline. So what I've got here is the ability to create a due date for the job itself, which is perhaps more of an ideal due date. And what I've set this to is 90 days before the statutory deadline. So we have a target within our practice that 90 days or 3 months before the statutory deadline, we're going to complete these accounts and get it all signed off and completed with the client. The job will start from the usual year end, so that's a pretty obvious trigger point to actually start the job. You can then set some reminders on the job itself. Do you want the job to recur? And yes, absolutely. If this is an annual accounts job, you would want to set that up to recur annually. And then we come on to tasks, which are the stages you will then set up to complete this piece of work. So as I say, this can really help you define like a conveyor belt process in your practice. So I'd recommend you go through and really give some thought to how you set this up. So here are my stages: send year-end reminders, records received, prepare accounts, review accounts, approve accounts, etc. You'll see that each one has its own assignee, status, due dates and offsets. So you go through and define the job start and due dates based on what you think the ideal date should be. And offsets are effectively dates which then trigger from previous actions within the software. So if you wanted to set your initial task due date to being 3 weeks after the job start date, then that's what you click here. But there are loads of options, so it's really flexible. Now, what you can do here is set actions. Actions will do things to these tasks or jobs based on things you complete within the software. So if you complete the task, or if you link an accounting period or submit accounts or complete a job, it will actually create or change parameters within the template itself. So in this case, when I complete this task, it's going to change the work status overall for the job to records requested, because that was the first step, send your end reminder to client. And then it's going to change the job status to in progress. So rather than being planned, it then triggers in progress. So you can see how this can be set up to be very clever and very automatic. So please do have a look through and create this for yourself. Maybe my first few stages are for a junior in the practice to prepare and review. And then as we get through, me as the accounts manager will complete the process. Great, I'm not going to save that because we want to apply these workflows to our clients. So let me show you how to do that. We've got on the left here something called services offered. And this has been in the software before, but it's been fairly basic, just allowing you to record a list of the services you offer your clients. But of course, this has been ramped up quite a lot now to help with the time and fee, the time product, and also to help with the workflows. So what you do here is effectively assign a default job template to a service. So it's really easy to do. You just go in and edit the section on the right here. And effectively what you're doing here is assigning that default job template, and then that will automatically apply to all clients who take that service from you. So what you will need to do is make sure that you keep the services up to date in the system, so that you do use the client record as a place to keep a record of all the services that client is taking from you. You don't have to do that one by one. We've got a service wizard, bulk service wizard here, which allows you to apply that to all clients. So let me show you how to do that. What we're going to do is assign the tax return service to all of my individual clients. So what you do is select the service, select your fee basis. This is only really relevant if you're using the time module, but you may want to report on that. And let's say we have an expected fee for a tax return of £200. I'm then going to apply my default job template to that. I'm then going to select the clients that I'm going to apply this service to, and I'm going to select all individuals. So I'm going to remove the filters for companies, partnerships and trusts, and I'm going to select all my individuals. 31 records have been updated there with the new services. So we really recommend that you go through and make sure that that's updated for everyone. Fantastic. There are also some more features I'll highlight in here. One of them is the bulk reassign option. So you'll find that within the settings of the program. So if you've got someone who perhaps is going away on holiday or leaving the practice, then what you can do is assign all of their tasks to another user. I just thought I'd point that out. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is go into the client database, and I'll pick out an individual client from the database, and we'll show you some of the new screens within the client record. So here's the client record. Most of it's familiar to you, I imagine. You've got services rendered. Now this has been updated for all customers, whether you're PM Plus or just the standard PM. You'll see the updated table here. One thing I'll just highlight is that record has been updated. That was from the bulk service activation I just did there, so that's been updated. And you can see it's automatically applied the default job template to that. Great, so what that will then do is allow you to go into the active work screen and then activate the job template for that client. Now you might already be using the task system with us, in which case we don't want to automatically start the job templates just in case that could get in the way or interfere with the tasks that you've created. So if that's not a problem, ignore this step, but otherwise you will need to go through and activate the job templates here. And there's that job template, the self-assessment one applying to this individual, and you can see it's already in progress. So that is how you apply the workflows to your clients. And then the next step is to show you how to update the workflows to make sure that you're keeping the statuses up to date. So you can do that from the dashboard from the home screen. So if you wanted to go in and quickly update a particular job or template, that's no problem. Let's just find one in the list. Just click update task and you can update the flow of work there. You can also do it from within the job itself. So if you're in a piece of work, this is accounts production. So you may be completing the work, going through, preparing your accounts, and you may then want to update this. So if you just go into view work for this client, now you may already have some triggers set up for this, but it depends what your job stages are. Obviously, maybe if you put job stages in for, importing the trial balance from Xero or QuickBooks, then you will need to do things to, you will need to update this to effectively show you that, show the job template that's been completed. So you click update, and this will show you the full series of job or tasks within the job. You can see the first few are completed, as we'd probably expect. And then you can make sure that the prepare accounts and review accounts is now completed. And then it will move automatically onto approve accounts. Great, so you can do that from anywhere and it just keeps updating the job. Really, really simple. Great, there's just one more thing to show you within PM Plus. Two things actually, I lie. So just wanted to highlight first of all that within the work management screen, you can actually export and print the view to Word or Excel or to CSV, which might help you just create reports externally in Excel to just identify and report on jobs and tasks within your practice. Previously, you had to do that through the report manager, so it's really nice that you can really easily print that screen so that you can kind of keep on top of that. And finally, one additional feature of the Practice Manager Plus is the facility to create and maintain multiple offices. So if you work from multiple locations or branches or offices, you now have the facility to effectively assign clients to different offices within your firm. And that will then allow you to, under the engagement section here, will allow you to, I guess, report on that. So yes, it's a bit of a step up, and for those firms that do work from multiple branches or locations, obviously it's a big step forward for them. Great, so that was Practice Manager Plus. As I say, there's a lot to it, and it's all kind of very subjective and based on what you want to set up. So we are effectively offering to take you through the software in a bit more detail with some tools and some guidance. So we've got some how-to videos that show you the specific features I've just shown you, but in a lot more detail. So I recommend you have a look at those on our website. We've also got a written guide, so if you prefer to kind of just sit in front of a new piece of software and have a written piece of literature to kind of take you through the product, then do have a look at that, and is well worth a read. Great, so let's launch you back into the presentation and we'll take you through the next section on TaxCalc time. So I'll just introduce you to that first of all. So obviously the main function really here with TaxCalc Time is to track billable time across your practice. Again, it's integrated, so the time tracking is completed as you're doing a lot of the key work in the practice. There's a simple process within here to create and submit and approve timesheets. We've created a Teams feature where you can create a kind of hierarchy structure of your practice within the software so that we can create that process for submission and approval. And it's quite simple, but it goes without saying that if you're a manager, you can approve timesheets of juniors or people below you, but those juniors will not be able to see your own timesheet as a manager or someone above you in the hierarchy. One of the key features is the WIP analysis, the ability to easily make billing decisions on the data that's being captured. So if you wanted to review a client account that maybe is where you're spending too much time on that particular job, you can then make a billing decision and then charge accordingly through your invoicing software. Before we launch into the demo itself, just wanted to launch our final poll for today. So poll number 2, the question for the audience today is practice management an obstacle to your practice's growth? We'd appreciate your answers and would appreciate what your current thoughts are on practice management. Is this something which is getting in the way of your firm's growth? So is it a priority for you to fix? Do you feel like it's restricting your growth to some extent, but perhaps you've got some good processes in place? Or lastly, do you feel very organized, but you're just here to have a look at some of the new features that we are introducing? You'd appreciate your answers. So if you could have a look and respond accordingly, we'll hold the poll open there just for a few more seconds, just for the results to stabilize. Thank you. We're just up to 70% of the audience voted. So I just hold it open for a few more seconds. So the question there is practice management an obstacle to your practice's growth? Great, I think that's stabilized. So that's 3/4 of the audience. Thank you very much. I'll close the poll there and results just coming up on screen now. So very even split. Obviously not many categories there to choose from, but nice to see some people who feel very organized, to feel like that they've got lots of good processes in place. Some who feel like clearly that some software tools would perhaps help, and feel that practice management is restricting their growth slightly. And yeah, 1/3 of the audience roughly saying that, yeah, this is a priority for us to fix. So thank you for your responses there. We'll feed that back to our team. Great, so let's take a look at TaxCalc Time. Great, so the eagle-eyed of you will have noticed that whilst we've been using the new updates, that we've got a widget in the top right corner here called Time. And this is the stop clock and the place where you add time logs as you're completing work in the software. So if we launch into a piece of work, so I'm going to open this set of accounts here again, you'll see that the time widget flashes. That indicates that you now need to start recording some time. So we'll click the play button. These tabs here are associated to the tabs and the billable work that we've got open in the software at the moment. So it's now recording our time. We'll go through, complete our work, and then if we wanted to switch into another piece of work, we either go in, click the play button, it's then going to save the recording of the accounts job, and it's going to automatically play the tax job that we've got open here as well. If you do leave the work, it will constantly flash to remind you that you've now left the piece of work that you're recording to. So it's quite useful and does make sure that you're recording to the right job at the right time. So if you wanted to stop that, add that time log, and then create a manual time log yourself, you've got the add time facility here. And this will give the ability to record anything really. It could be something in the future, it could be something in the past, it could be something that's billable, it could be something that's non-billable. So for example, if I wanted to log some time to my timesheet that I was away, or perhaps I need to go on a training course or something in the afternoon, then I may start to log some time to my timesheet, perhaps 4 hours this afternoon in my timesheet there. What that then does is log it all in the background, and if you want to, you can open your timesheet from the button there, and that will create all of your time logs over the weeks that you've created them. So here's a timesheet that I created for last week. So I'm going to open that up, and you can see some work that's been completed there. So what I might do is actually jump into another person. Let's see if we've got some more. So yeah, there's my training course that I logged. Great, so here's some more timesheet logs just to show you how it works. So we've got a really nice calendar view that breaks down your timesheet for that week. If you notice a mistake, it's really easy. You can drag the time across, so you can say, yeah, I've spent that much time. And once you have completed your timesheet, you can then approve it or send it for approval through here. Great, so the manager will then get the ability to complete and approve that timesheet from their own system. So back in the time module itself, this is where you see the timesheets and the individual time logs that you've created. You can print and export those and filter. Obviously, once you've been using the software for even a few weeks and months, you'll see quite a few logs building up here. You've got the ability to create and add expenses. The main screens for managers or practice owners are going to be the WIP overview and the time analysis. So what you've got here is a log of time associated by particular clients, and again, you can filter that. There's loads of filtering options. And what you may want to do is view the detail. So you can either double click or click view detail, and then that will create the billing window here where you can then effectively complete time logs as billed or not. You've then got time analysis. This can break down in different ways, different views. You've got clients, work, or users. So multiple views into the same information to help you make billing decisions again. So if you wanted to see any particular clients clearly where you're spending a lot of time, like this individual here who's had 80 hours spent on them. This is of course all test data, but you get the idea. So I'll obviously be asking questions about that billable value on that particular individual, because chances are we're not charging that client £9,000 a year. Great, in terms of setting up and assigning different users, different chargeable charge out rates, that's all done through the settings and the application settings. So you go into the time section here, you've got working hours, you've got timesheet periods, so lots of customizable options, and then within your users, within here, you can select their working hours if that's different, and their charge out rates. So it's quite comprehensive. We understand this kind of feature is either relevant or not, depending on whether you are perhaps more fixed fee or hourly based in your charging of fees. However, we really feel that it's necessary and useful for any practice to be able to record the time and make sure that they are not unprofitable on jobs. Again, if you've got any questions, we've got the sales team who are happy to answer them for you. But again, there's a bunch of how-to videos on how to set up teams, how to set up time logs, and how to report on time. So do have a look at those on the website. Great, I'm going to launch back into the presentation to look at our final new product. So this is Document Manager powered by SmartVault. So this is a partnership and reseller arrangement with SmartVault. SmartVault are an established player in the industry of document management tools. It's cloud-based, which is fantastic. It obviously creates a lot of synergy between TaxCalc's product and SmartVault's product if you're on the Cloud Connect system. And yeah, really the main purpose is for long-term cloud-based document storage. There's a client portal facility, so not only can you send documents to clients, but clients can send documents to you, and you can put a login page on your website, which directs them clients directly into their SmartVault to upload documents to you. The main thing really in this GDPR world is to make sure that your workflow is compliant, so no emails with documents attached are being sent as part of this process. And of course, you've then got a way of collaborating and storing documents for clients for the long term. So hopefully gone will be the days of clients ringing you up saying, can I have a copy of my tax return? Because they'll be able to log in and access it themselves. Let's take a look. So first thing to show you is the web view. So let's just sign into the Smart Vault here. So this is a web browser based product, and I've logged into my Smart Vault here. So we're TaxCalc Business Services, and you've got folder structures which are effectively the different vaults for each client. Now, what we really like about Smart Vault and why we feel so excited about the partnership really is that their system is very much geared up to accountancy firms. So what they will help you do as part of the implementation is help you create your folder structures as you like them, but they've got some default templates that are specific for accountants that will do things like this: create correspondence, engagement letters, tax folders for each client, and within that there can be different folders for each individual tax year. So it's a very logical folder structure that will reflect the way that you store your documents. So how do we get documents into the Smart Vault? Well, there's multiple views and ways. You can actually just drag and drop files into that, but of course, if you're creating documents from within TaxCalc, you may want to know how to upload those to your Smart Vault to notify your client that a document is now due. So we've completed our personal tax return for this client here. We've got a liability. And what I'm going to do is go to the print section. I'm going to create a preview here, and what this will do is generate the PDF on screen. Now, Smart Vault has what's called a print driver integration, which means that documents that are printed onto any kind of PDF preview window can be uploaded into the Smart Vault. So that not only assists you with TaxCalc uploading documents, but with any application that creates a PDF. So what we do is we click print. We select Smart Vault from our list of printers, and you can set that up as your default, of course. And what this will then do is launch you into Smart Vault's interface. So Smart Vault, as well as being web-based, has a desktop interface that allows you to upload documents. There's also some nice facilities where you can map network drives. So if you've got a particular if you like working within Windows file folder structures, then you can effectively create a mapped network drive so that all your Smart Vault folders appear in natively within your Windows application. Now here's the connected desktop app. So what this allows us to do is actually go through, select a specific folder, and then it will change where the destination of the upload here. So it's really easy to select your folder and then it will upload it. Great, so that's uploading, and you can see that being uploaded there. If you want to, you can change the name. That ding was just to let me know that that's completed. Change the name there if you want to. And what we should then see is that will be reflected within the Smart Vault web browser here. So it's all live data all coming through, and I can access it here. Now with particular notifications and access rights, you'll then effectively have automatic emails and things going out to clients to notify them that that document's been sent, although there is a send link here if you want to specifically send that document to them. There's also a get link here, so if you want to effectively request documents from your clients, perhaps at their year end, then you can do that through here. So what that obviously nicely does is tie in with the practice management software, where if you notice you've got records requested coming up for a particular job, then you can go in, get that link through Smart Vault and request the documents from the client. There's some other really nice features I like, including what we can see here, which is public documents. So that will actually allow you to push documents to your whole practice. So if there was a particular newsletter or piece of information that you would like to publicize to your client base, you don't need to send it to everyone individually or create a mail merge. You have this public documents facility where you can upload information and send information directly to clients through here. Clients will be notified of that upload to the public documents folder. Perhaps you've got some guidance on making tax digital and how to get clients signed up for that. then you can effectively send out that mass communication via the public documents area. This is really just scratching the surface of what the facility can do. It's multi-user, permissions-based, and is scalable for a practice of any size. It's chargeable per user or staff member, but does allow unlimited client or guest user access and unlimited storage. So it's a really nice product that's offered to practitioners now in the UK, and I think will certainly provide some really nice document management services to our clients. Great. So I think it would be amiss of me to talk about the new products, but not talk about the pricing and the options that are now presented to our customers. So you still have a lot of the existing tool set still in there, including some updates to the practice management solution. If you want that just task-based, you won't need to pay for that at all. But if you want the advanced workflow and the ability to really define the job templates in the system, it's just £40 per user per year. So we're pricing this for customer adoption. It's not about our growth as a company. It's all about making sure that customers have the right tools to really run their firm and to do that in a sophisticated way. Time recording, that's just £20 per user per year, so not per month, per year, bear in mind. And Document Manager, we're really pleased to have negotiated a really good reseller price of £180 per user per year. You'll see SmartVault's own pricing available on their website, which generally comes in at around $30 or $40 per month. It's charged in US dollars through them directly, but with us, it's just £180 per user per year. So really nice option and a very good price, and that can be included within any existing TaxCalc payment plans if you qualify. So I hope that's been useful and shows you the new products in some detail. Of course, we do realise that you may want to have a look at these products for yourself. We do have a free trial of the TaxCalc Time module, so you can request that from your TaxCalc account manager by contacting sales@taxcalc.com. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the workflows and because of the things that get turned on with the Practice Manager Plus facility, there is no free trial at this stage, although we are working in the background of ways of being able to facilitate that, but we might need to do that in a separate database for you, so it might not be available on your current live data. However, it's just £40 per user per year, and we've had a lot of orders already, so we're very confident these features work. They've been tested very thoroughly and do offer a step change in functionality, so we'd really recommend you just have a go. If you'd like to learn more about SmartVault, I've probably not sold it in its best light because I'm not from SmartVault, but we've got a colleague of ours, Murray Wilson, who's the sales manager at SmartVault, running a webinar this Thursday, 24th. I don't think it's 10 a.m. actually. I think that's incorrect. I think it's in the afternoon. So let me confirm that for you. It is on our website, so apologies for the information there. So if I just go into Document Manager on the website, do have a look here. There's some videos and more information. If you click under join one of our webinars, register here, that will take you to their webinar page. Yeah, so Thursday, October 24th at 2 p.m. So if you're interested in SmartVault in more detail, please just go on the website and register for that there. That's under our own website at taxcalc.com. Click on the Document Manager link and click on register for the webinar. And there are a few other times coming up as well. So if a better time suits you, then click on that there. Great, so all that's left for me to say is thank you everyone for your time. I hope it's been useful, and if you do have any questions, please, as I say, direct them to the details on screen. We've got our TaxCalc account managers kind of ready, trained up on the software to run you through it if you've got any questions, and we look forward to having conversations with you soon about your practice management requirements, and I hope that we'll be able to help you with that. So thank you everyone for your time. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar today.